Dr. Klein is with us right now, and we're going to be talking about nutrient versus poison. Interesting.
What's this all about, you might ask? Okay, and it's a matter of thought. It's a matter of philosophy. It's a way to go through life, understanding the things that are around you in a slightly different way than you presently think about it. And it's the way that I like to think in terms of what nutrients do and what they don't do, why you need certain things, and why you don't need others. What is the difference, between a nutrient and a poison? Okay, and you're going to go, well, one thing is good for you and the other one is bad for you. And I'd say that kind of sums it up. However, it might come as a huge surprise to you is that they're the same item. Everything in life, everything that you're going to come in contact to of a natural nature, let's take away plastics, let's take away things like glass, but everything that's found in your diet and around you is both a nutrient and a poison. What makes the difference? Okay, why is one thing a nutrient and the other one a poison? It has to do with something called rate, or rate of ingestion, route, the way that it's taken in there, and the amount. So everything is both a nutrient and a poison depending upon the rate, route, and amount of acquisition or ingestion. Okay, so let's look at oxygen. Okay, it's very, very essential. Okay, it's one of those sorts of things that if you didn't have it for as little as 3 or 4 minutes, you're done. It's all over. You're dead. Okay, how do you get that oxygen? Okay, do you take it through your lungs, or do you take it through your skin or through some other orifice? Okay, because oxygen, when delivered through one of those orifices, is deadly. You take it through your lungs, you breathe very, very nicely. So the route of administration, the rate with which it's given is very important. So if you're breathing very rapidly, okay, you can in fact find all your muscles cramping up and you can stop breathing. If you breathe too slowly, you die. Okay, so the rate, route, amount. So too much oxygen in terms of concentration, 21% in our atmosphere is about exactly what we need. Once it goes much above 30% or thereabouts, it becomes toxic to the lungs. Below 21%, significantly so, you end up dying from hypoxemia. So the most basic of nutrients, oxygen, is necessary in certain ways, and it's got to be delivered in the appropriate manner and at the right rate. The same thing is true of water. It has to be delivered in just the right amount, or you can get water toxicity, or you become dehydrated. If you're sitting in a boat in the a dinghy in the middle of the ocean, you got plenty of water around you, but it's the wrong type. What you're looking at there is salt toxicity. Salt water. It's the salt that will do you some damage. Too much salt, you die. Too little salt, you die. Rate, route, and amount. And why do you care about this? Okay, it's just not a matter of GM ranting and raving, but on a daily basis, people are harming themselves by not taking this into consideration. So when you go to the store, okay, and you're told, well, gee, if you eat lots and lots of kale, and I'll pick on kale for a number of reasons right now, okay, it's very, very helpful to you. Unless that's all you eat, or you eat too much of it, in which case you'll develop all manners of other illnesses. Citrus fruit. Okay, in moderation is very, very healthy for you. You take too much of it, you become diabetic. Brilliant. What about red meat? A little bit of red meat's great for you. Too much will cause heart disease, arguably. Okay, it's true of everything that we do. A little bit of this can be very beneficial because it might get an unusual nutrient that you need. Too much of it will poison you. So one of my favorite nutrients of this nature is chromium. Okay, now why chromium? Because a little bit of chromium will keep your blood sugar normal. So between 200 and 600 micrograms, 800 micrograms of elemental chromium, okay, is what you need. Chromium polynicotinate, the moiety you're looking for. Blood sugar stays fairly normal. You don't get enough chromium in your diet, you'll get fat first. Then you'll end up becoming diabetic. Chromium deficiency leads to obesity and diabetes. But you have to take it with vanadium. Vanadyl sulfate. Dosage there is 4 milligrams daily, but you may need as much as 40 to get the problem under control. Too much of either one of those will cause kidney failure. So too little causes disease, too much will cause disease. Selenium. If you don't get enough selenium, you develop thyroid disease. Very common cause of autoimmune thyroid disease is zinc and selenium deficiency. But too much of either is highly dangerous. So rate, route, and amount. So what do you do about this? Are you going to sit back and memorize charts? The answer is, well, yeah, I do all the time. That's what I do for a living. There are a lot of health nuts out there that need to take that little piece of advice, which isn't so much to read, the magazines and go, oh my God, this particular food is marvelous for you. Coconut oil is one that's going to be killing people in the next 10 years because somebody on television told them that coconut oil is marvelous for you. No, little bits of things may be, because you're going to get certain omega-3, certain omega-6s, certain omega-7s, certain omega-9s that might be necessary, but in excess, they become poisonous. They become toxic. So the sickest people you're going to see are going to be at the health food store. The sickest people you're going to see are going to be at the whole, let's just say, the big grocery stores that do nothing but sell, quote unquote, organic vegetables. Okay, why? Because these individuals that are vegan, that are vegetarian, and so on and so forth, are not getting all the nutrients that they need because they may not be found only in plant materials. So if they're deficient in certain of the minerals, if you're deficient in certain of the amino acids, deficient in the omega-3s, deficient in the complex carbohydrates or the essential carbohydrates, you're going to get sick, albeit slowly and painfully over the course of time. The sickest people you're ever going to see are the ones in the health food stores, and that's the way it's been for years. Well, soy is very, very healthy for you. Well, guess what? It's not so healthy for you anymore. I collect cigarette advertisements from the 1940s, 1950s, that they advertise that more doctors smoke Chesterfields than any other cigarette, And something we found as physicians that wasn't such a good idea. And so it goes with regards to many of the nutrients that we see. So when you pick up a multivitamin, because you read about it in a magazine that this is a really, really good thing, you need to look at the recommended daily allowance, the RDA, with a grain of salt. Not a ton of salt because that's toxic. A grain of salt's harmless. And understand, that the RDA is fiction, but what you need to look at, what you need to research is how much of this particular item do you need to have a net therapeutic effect. Because a bare minimum, a recommended daily allowance is a bare minimum that is not healthy. That's just eking by. If you want to be a C student and just make it out of high school, congratulations. If you want to excel, you don't look at the bare minimum. The recommended daily allowance is intended as a bare minimum. Folic acid, marvelous stuff. Vitamin B9. What's the RDA? It's 400 micrograms a day. The prescription strength is 1,000 milligrams a day because that's what it takes to prevent a pregnant gal from having a neural tube defect in their neonates, their kids. Well, let's see if I understand this right. So we deliver 5,000 micrograms per day, which is 5 times the prescription strength, because it reverses plaquing in the arteries. What's the toxic level of vitamin B9? There isn't one. So what you're doing here is you're looking at whether it's a poison or whether it's a nutrient and what the therapeutic effect is going to be. Very, very important. Zinc. Well, if you've got a cold, why don't you go ahead and spray some of that zinc up your nose? Marvelous idea. Except that it kills the cells that allow you to smell. There are many people out there that lost their ability to smell because of those nasal zinc sprays. You still need the zinc, but the route of administration has to be appropriate. Not up your nose. You take it in your gut. We were not provided with aerosolized zinc as part of our regular exposure to the environment. Zinc is present in our groundwater, or it should be, or it used to be, but you need to get zinc. But too much zinc, or if it's administered the wrong way, can cause kidney damage, prostate damage, a bunch of problems. Little bit of copper. You wouldn't think that copper would be necessary, but you see commercials all the time for these wraps that contain copper. It's a big joke, I don't believe it's much more than a fad, but why do we even look at copper for arthritis? Because wouldn't you know it, a copper deficiency leads to arthritis. So back in the day, we used to take a penny and tape it to the skin. You were able to get enough micrograms of copper through the skin from a penny to deal with copper deficiency. It worked. Doesn't work anymore because pennies don't have copper in them anymore. So it doesn't really work so well anymore. But copper, a milligram or 2 per day is all it takes to get the job done, and stuff is very, very cheap. So it's all about rate, route, and amount. That is the difference between a poison and a nutrient. And doc needs to know this. You need to know it. or you'll suffer the consequence.
Dr. David Klein of the Stages of Life Institute, suffernomore.com, suffernomore.com. And don't forget, for the best way for you to get your nutraceuticals on time, every time, stagesoflifevitamins.com, stagesoflifevitamins.com. Here's more contact information.
Our phone number is 407-679-3337, and our website is stagesoflife.net. We're located in Longwood at 1917 Booth Circle. That's right off of I-4 and 434. And let's see, our office hours are Monday through Thursday, 8 to 5. The health store that Rob mentioned with all of our nutraceuticals is open during those office hours, but we're also on the web, as I said, at stagesoflife.net, and you can purchase your nutraceuticals at your leisure, and we will ship them to you. We'll ship